Welcome to the Nicki Show. Okay, so I used to be really intimidated by pulling handles, but I think over the years I found a way that makes it less intimidating. So all you need is a wire cutter or some way to cut up your clay, a little bucket, and then something to put your handles on when you're ready to like set them up to dry. So I have a board that looks like this that I'm just gonna use. You can use whatever. Sometimes people will use, like I used to use bats. It doesn't matter. It's just something you can put them on. So I just start coming through and I wire cut some of my clay. And some of this, like I had used it for other things, so it's not very like even all the way through. So I'm gonna cut off the part of it that's not very even, which is gonna be like right through here. Okay, so I'm gonna use this for something else. But I've got like this chunk of clay here, which is pretty even all the way through both sides. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it into 4 pieces. So I'm just going to cut it right down the middle here. And then I'm going to cut it down the middle again the other direction. So I've got these like chunks, right? So this is what I do. I go through and I create these chunks that are just like, it's like not quite an inch wide, by like a couple inches tall. And I'm gonna slightly round it out and make like a coil. Nothing super thin or anything. I'm just gonna roll it into like a coil. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just kind of get my piece started. So I've got it into like a little log here. So I'm gonna do that for each piece that I'm gonna pull into a handle with. So I've got, a couple pieces that are about the same size, and they're not going to be exactly the same because I didn't perfectly measure out the weight of each piece. But when I'm making a handle, like I just want to get them close to being the same because when I throw my mugs, they're not all exactly the same. Like I'm not a production potter. So I just kind of like get a whole bunch of handles that I need. Like I needed to put 20 handles on 20 pots. So I would pull like 30 handles so that I had enough to choose from. Maybe sometimes they don't turn out very well, or as I'm like getting ready to use them, I kind of goof up a little bit. So I go like, I do more than I need. Okay, so now that I've got some handles kind of rolled out a little bit, I'm going to start pulling. So I'm going to hold, if I have like a thicker, like some of them are rolled out to be a little bit thicker on the top, and I kind of like them like that. So this one here, I'm just going to go ahead and get it a little wet. I've got water on both sides. I'm not really pulling or anything. Now here's the opportunity I have to kind of smooth some of this out a little bit to get it more even than how I had it when I rolled it out. I didn't roll it out perfectly, right? So what I'm trying to do is I'm making my hand this shape here, and the clay is going to go inside that, right? But my hand's not perfectly round and symmetrical. So there's like a fatty muscle here, right? So I'm going to rotate which direction I pull from on the clay because I don't, like if I just pull like this, it's going to be dented in on this side of the piece and then rounded out more over here. So I'm going to keep rotating back and forth which side I pull from to help make both sides even, okay? And as I do, I'm going to adjust my hand and the pressure that I'm using to try to get it to pull out smooth because I want it ultimately to be about the same width the whole way down. And it just takes some getting used to how hard you have to pull. But you're just gently pulling, and you're pulling down, and you're squeezing your fingers here and here together. And it's just going to fall into the shape of your hand. And then if you want to be fancy with it, once you're done, because like this is about the size that I want for my mugs. They're like between 12 and 16 ounce mugs once they're finished. So if I want to be fancy with it, I could take my thumb and just kind of make a little imprint right here. But I don't always do that. I sometimes just like it to be like very simple. And there you go. So that was very easy, right? Like I only pulled a few times. So now I'm going to curve, and I like to have mine very wide so that you could fit 4 fingers in, ideally. So I'm going to set this up on this. I'll put it back here so you can see it. I'm going to set it up. I'm going to push down right here because I'm not going to use this part of the clay. This isn't going to be part of my handle. It'll probably be cut off like somewhere right in here. So this doesn't matter. This is just what I was holding on to. So I'm going to push here to help set it up. And then I'm going to do the same thing here, but I don't have to push as hard. So I'm going to end up cutting off probably like here and here, and the handle will be like this long. So it'll be able to hold a decent, you can put all 4 fingers in, and it'll just set up like this for maybe in the next 30 minutes to an hour. I'll see how dry it is, and then it'll be ready to attach to my mug. Thank you so much for watching. Like what you saw? Hit that thumbs up. Want to see more? Subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you're interested in more tutorials, leave me a comment below and let me know what you want to see. And also, if you've tried this method, let me know if it works for you.